For the first time in a long time, Cecilia is heading back to the Superdome.
Cecilia is your state champion.
The last appearance for the Bulldogs was 1995, where they were crowned state champs.
Seeing the community, seeing the old pictures, brings me back to the time of 1995 like it was yesterday.
Their 2023 success has been the catalyst for their historic run. The Bulldogs have only lost one game this year, clinching the 2 seed in the Division II non-select playoff bracket. Head coach Dennis Gaines says the work began last November after losing in the second round.
We like to say it started in January, but the truth is it started in November, about an hour after our last football game. It's something our staff's kind of always done. As soon as the last game's over, we start prepping while everything's fresh in our mind on the next season.
The population of Cecilia is over 1,500 people, a small but tight community where everybody knows somebody, where many attended CHS, and where all are anxious to relive a championship victory.
Specifically, I remember driving on the bus, the charter. We were going by the levee, and somebody had put on the levee, last one to leave, turn off the lights.
And as Cecilia makes their trek back to the state title game for the first time in nearly 3 decades, it's a very special moment for one key member of this team. For one assistant coach, he takes this week to reflect back to the player behind the jersey to the man in the headset.
This was actually my locker, right here.
Jason Falk was a junior defensive back when the Bulldogs painted the dome green and gold. He says he remembers the moment like it was yesterday when they were handed the hardware.
And I remember it being hoisted by the whole team. Like, it felt like everybody was in the middle, and I just remember the trophy going up.
As Falk relives the week of preparation, he says it's also been a very somber week.
It became very, very emotional just because of the text messages I got. I got a lot of text messages from people that I played with, people that were in the community, and they started, basically telling me, how awesome it must be to have my son on the team. And it just all of a sudden hit me.
In his emotional trip to the Dome, Falk leans on the importance of family. In '95, his now wife, Christy, was a trainer for the team, and their kids, Carly and Colton, share the same Bulldog pride. Falk wants nothing more than to share the gold with his family at home and his family on the field.
I think it's going to be a special moment for him, and it's going to be a special moment for the guys who played in that game and come back and watch. And we're excited that we're able to kind of give that back to them.
The thought of going out there and completing the circle is a thought that I want to make come true so bad. Not for myself, but I want my family to feel it, and I want this community to feel it, and I want every kid in this locker room to feel it.
In Cecilia, Meagan Glover, KTC Sports.
Just contributing. Like, I just want to win.
A 2-time champion from Barb High, Louisiana hit a grand slam, adding Cal DeBarge to the roster in 2022.
From a young age, that's all I ever knew was winning. Then you get to Barb, and it's like, we win here. And you get here, and it's like, we win here. I mean, it's just always been about winning, never about what one person can do.
In game by game, pitch by pitch, his stock continued to rise, all the way to the top, where this season, DeBarge fielded Sun Belt Player of the Year honors, while also being recognized as the best shortstop in the country.
I'd say a stepping stone to get me to where I want to be, and that's a big leaguer.
But the job's not finished. DeBarge still adding to his resume, like knocking 21 pitches out of the park this year, setting a new single-season program record. That's a record that stands 35-plus years old. So to get that, that's very fulfilling, I'm sure.
It's a great feeling. I mean, I'm 5'9", 170 pounds. Like, that doesn't scream home run record. It's a really good feeling to be in the record books.
And the star-studded shortstop knows his way well around the bases. As Cal DeBarge makes his way to home plate while showing love to the Cajun fans on the other side, he shows his love in a different fashion. For every Cajun player that went yard on the season, a donation was given to Faith House of Acadiana.
Donations are so critical to our budget. We work every day providing for all of the needs of our survivors who have to leave with absolutely nothing.
Sponsored by JD Bank, for every Cajun's homer, a $50 donation was given to Faith House, a domestic abuse crisis center and shelter servicing 7 parishes between Central and Southwest Louisiana.
Faith House provides safe shelter, counseling, support, and other assistance to victims of domestic violence as they're fleeing from their abusive partner.
During the regular season, UL rallied 75 home runs, totaling a $3,750 contribution.
We are just so encouraged by the support of JD Bank and UL Baseball for not only committing to this support, but also creating an awareness about domestic violence throughout a sports game.
As for the home run king, he's grateful to know that going yard means more beyond the stat sheet.
It makes me feel great to contribute to such a good cause. I'm glad that we get to contribute to that.
The last year for Shane Vallow has been full of lessons.
Playing football, you got to be tough. You go through a lot. But this is kind of a different turn here. It's more of a mental toughness.
After helping lead Louisiana football to his best season in program history, his dreams of becoming a football coach was right across the line of scrimmage. Vallow followed former Cajuns head coach Billy Napier to Florida, but he would soon be reminded that home is where the heart is.
It was tough making the decision to come back home. Coach Napier didn't want me to leave, and it was kind of tough, but I thought it was the best decision for myself.
Returning to the Flats, Vallow coached his first season with St. Thomas More, winning a state championship. He was also able to jumpstart his own business, Sauce Bon Catering. Pancakes aren't the only thing he could serve on the field, but in the kitchen as well. Kind of take me back. We knew when you were still playing for UL that you were a good cook, but take me back to how did we even get here? Where did you learn? How did you learn?
Really, I just learned because I like to eat. Of course, I was always a lineman. I just started trying things, and like one day, the reason why I came with these quesadilla burgers is because one day I was cooking some burgers at home, and I was cooking them already, and I didn't have any buns. So I went in the house, and I was like, well, I don't have time to go to the store. So I went and I had tortillas, and I was like, you know what? I guess we're eating them with tortillas today.
And now Vallow is on the brink of opening a restaurant, Shane's famous quesadilla burgers, an establishment they'll be full of flavor. When you reflect back on it, how crazy has this year been for you and maybe gratifying?
It's been really crazy, I tell you that. When I launched my catering business, I didn't think I would. I mean, the goal was always to open up a restaurant one day and do that, but I didn't think it would happen this quick. It's been an interesting journey, I would say, so far, and I'm in it for the long run, so I'm waiting to see what happens.
Reporting in Lafayette, Meagan Glover, KTC TV3.